In the enterprise package of Mingo, you have the ability to create forms to collect quality data on the factory floor. So in this example, we have a machine called Charlie, and I have a forms button here. I can click that forms button and it will list off all the forms that are available for this particular machine and part that I'm running. I can change this too, so I can have certain forms that show up on this machine every time. I can have certain forms that show up on this machine only when certain products are running, so it's very configurable and you're only showing things that actually apply to what you're running. And the forms are very customizable. The idea is that you can replicate the forms that you have today on paper or you're typing into Excel and you can put them directly into Mingo, which allows you to reduce the amount of effort that people have to take to enter these things. Because many times they're writing down the same information over and over and over again, such as what product, what day, what machine, who am I, and we know all of that stuff. So in this example, this is an operations sanitation report that might happen at the beginning or the end of the shift, and they can check off pass, fail, none, etc. You can require certain entries. You can put in failure descriptions, corrective actions, and then you can also have sign-offs. So you can, in addition to that, you can also validate the data. So for example, I have an oven check here, and let's say I put in a temperature of 1 and 1, which is not valid, right? It comes back and it says the oven temperature must be equal to or greater than 400 and the product temp must be greater than 70. So the idea behind this is that you're reducing data entry errors, right? So that you can't accidentally put in invalid information. The other thing that you can do now is you can prompt on the operator screen for people to fill out the forms. So for example, let's say every time I change over, so I'm going to switch to a different product here. I want this form to be entered. So this is the oven check form. So what's the oven set at right now? Let's say it's 375. And I'm making granola in this scenario. So are these things clean and ready to go? Yes, you can add any comments and then submit that. So it's a really powerful way to remind folks that they need to enter this information. One of the other things that's really nice is if they don't, you have a list of the forms that have not been completed and you can actually report on those. And you can report on any of this information in the dashboards and in the operator screens. So if you want to show like the last recorded value for something, you can put that on a scoreboard. Or if you want to have a simple dashboard that shows maybe by department or by machine what things have been filled out and what haven't. So we can see, by machine here, what's been filled out, what has not. And if they were filled out, how long it took. So for example, this oven one check, it took 4 minutes and 27 seconds to fill that one out. And we have 45 pending ones on the oven. This one is probably set up to prompt like every half an hour or even 15 minutes. So in addition to prompting on a certain set of criteria, so hey, I made one product, now I want to check it like a first article inspection, or every hour or every 30 minutes I want to do a check, you can do that as well. You can also drill down into this information. So if you want to look at any of these forms, you can. If you want to give somebody the ability to complete them, that can happen in here as well. So the forms functionality inside of Enterprise in Mingo is a really powerful way for you to collect that data today that's going on forms and probably being put in file cabinets. It's really good for dealing with audits, having to go back and look up, what were the settings on the machine, what was that coil number, etc. inside of Mingo versus having to go to the file cabinet.